Have you ever wondered what is the most important part of an animated show? You may say it's the writing, and I agree. It is important to have a show that is fun to watch, but to me, I think the art style is the most important thing. You can't showcase a great idea without creating an art style that expresses what do you mean. And throughout the decades, we got a lot of fun cartoon styles that we can dive into. Who's here, Judy's here, and these are the different types of cartoon art styles. The first type is the modern cartoon style, the most popular cartoon style in these days. Its main features are thick outlines, geometric shapes, and bright colors. The reason that this art style is the way it is, it's because simple shapes with small details makes for a faster animation process and saves resources for the studios. You may think it's a lazy art style, but it does need so much time and work. The shows that use this art style are mostly Cartoon Network shows like Codename Kids Next Door, Dexter, Powerpuff Girls, and Gravity Falls. And fun fact, this art style was hand-drawn at first like Powerpuff Girls, and they moved on to computer-generated animation style. You can argue that Samurai Jack has the modern cartoon art style since it had some sort of similarity with Powerpuff Girls, but its last season showed a very unique art style with beautiful background. It's like beautiful paintings, and it's one of my favorite art styles for sure. Family Guy art style I can say is unique but not that special. It was featured in American Dad 2 and other shows copied this art style. But Bionic Titan and Total Drama also had unique art styles, which makes me look at Steven Universe and Clarence with a disappointment. Don't get me wrong, they have good art style, but it is not as creative or different like the older shows. The modern art style went through a lot of changes and created more art style. And since we talk about Cartoon Network, the scratchy animation style is a very unique art style. I wish to see more of it, with Ed, Edd n Eddy being the most notable example of this art style. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends had this art style kinda. You can say Rugrats too. I love it because it feels detailed, yet not that much focus on the detail. It's just a fascinating art style and I love it. But a creepy art style is called the Cowardly Dog art style. It was drawn in a very creepy and funny way, which makes it one of my all-time favorite shows. Literally, the art style made the whole show. Staying in Cartoon Network, there's that art style that I don't know its name, but it was one of my favorite art styles. The one in Ben 10, Megas XLR, and Generator Rex. This art style provided some sort of realistic elements, but had that special form of unique cartoon. You could do so much with this art style, and it was the best art style for action scenes. Ben 10 changed its art style significantly in Omniverse, and it was a very cool art style, but doesn't suit Ben 10. As a reboot, just let's not talk about it. But you know a cartoon art style that I'm not a fan of is the realistic art style. It adds more details and makes the characters and the stuff in the world more real, which creeps me out, but that definitely works more for adult cartoons. Cartoons that had this art style are King of the Hill and Ugly Americans. Like I said, not a fan. But a style that we all love of cartoon is modern anime. Yes, an anime is a cartoon. This style is so special. It is way more complex than any other style, and what I like about it, it shows the emotions in the best way possible. Best examples of this style is Attack on Titan and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Another type of anime is chibi art style. It's a cute art style where characters are compressed and presented in a tiny way to look cute, like Dragon Ball and Fairy and Luck Star. Another anime art style is Dragon Ball. What makes it special is having big and almost rectangular eyes, and a lot of geometric shapes and definition in the muscles. Crayon Shinchan style is such a unique style because it requires such a small effort, but also it doesn't mind pushing the limits of the character. It has thin lines and the eyes are always in black and white. But what if a cartoon combined anime style with American cartoon art style? Yes, it is possible, and done by Kappa Mikey. I have never watched this show, but seeing this art style done in a very unique way makes me wanna watch it. Should more shows do that? Not really. I would prefer if it was like 5 shows doing it at best, because if you had more shows like that, the magic of it will be lost. Cartoons that have special art style are The Simpsons, which has a widely famous art style. It evolved through years, but the main features remained constant. South Park art style is interesting. It is aptly geometric and has little depth. Shadows or highlights in this cartoon style are rare. The colors are pretty solid and clean. A very special art style is SpongeBob's art style. It evolves throughout the years. The modern one is brighter and less detailed, which makes me appreciate the older one more, especially the kind of pale colors it had. It felt so calm and satisfying for the eyes, and the art style knew how to jump scare us most of the time. But I think the most special cartoon art style is Adventure Time. It can be so simple and satisfying for the eye, and it can be so detailed and disturbing. This two art style inspired all the cartoon creators afterwards, like in Bravest Warriors and Hilda. This art style evolved more over the years, and creators added more details that weren't available in Adventure Time, like bigger eyes. Art styles I always admired are Disney art styles. In 2D or 3D, they always took extra care of their art style. Starting off with the classic Disney, it was so beautiful. It was made like paintings by artists and animated. It made us feel something, made us attached to the world and characters. And then by the middle of the 20th century, it evolved, which was seen in Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. But the sad thing is that when this art style reached its peak, they stopped doing it. Like Lilo on stage had an amazing art style, and Princess and the Frog had a beautiful art style, and combined with a beautiful animation style, it was a chef kiss. But because of the commercial failure of this art style, they dropped it to 3D art style or live action. It is so sad to see 2D art style is gone, since we could have got so much gems out of it. But the 3D art style is good, especially when Pixar does it. Just gonna say watch Toy Story and WALL-E, amazing stuff, man. Disney has Mickey Mouse, which started in the 1920s, right where cartoons as we know them were born, and started to matter. This drawing style is mostly in black and white format, with very high contrast body parts, is referred to as noodle drawing because the character's body moves as if there are no bones in their body. It was fun looking at it in Mickey Mouse and Betty Boop. Of course, it evolved more in the 30s and got more details, and by the early 40s, it was colored and in its peak. Cuphead got a similar look to this era of art style, and Tom and Jerry art style was a result of this art style evolving. But what made it so special in Tom and Jerry is the background behind the characters. You can take it and hang it on your wall, and people will think it's a painting made by an artist. It is so beautiful and made more shows follow the background rule more. But the 60s and the 70s eras were disappointing. Every show looked the same, like the Flintstones and the Jetsons. They literally drew a character in the same movie and changed the background behind it depending on the episode. They got cheap as heck. But the 80s saved us with TMNT and Transformers. And after all this art style I talked about, which one is the best? I would say my favorite is Gumball. Why? Because it literally had every art style. Anime, you got it. Crayon Shinchan, of course you got it. 1920s cartoons, no problem. Realistic art style, here. 2D, don't make Gumball laugh. 3D, of course honey. Gumball really give you anything you want in an art style. And the main art style is amazing. It is the realistic background mixed with 2D and 3D objects, with 2D and 3D characters. This is how you make a special cartoon art style. Of course, in this video I can't talk about all cartoon art styles, but I mentioned the most unique and popular ones. There are millions of cartoon art style out there, and you tell me in the comments which one is your favorite. Is Gumball, of course.